If you're a woman over 60 living in the United States or Europe, what I'm about to share could change everything about your hair loss struggle. There's a 30-second on morning habit that American and European doctors are watching very closely right now, and it's directly linked to the thinning hair you see on your pillow each morning. So many women transform their hair health by making these simple changes. They're not dramatic interventions. They're not expensive treatments. They're basic foundational approaches to supporting your body's natural hair growth processes. The reason they work is because they address actual deficiencies and actual problems rather than trying to force your body to do something it's not capable of doing at this stage of life. This isn't about expensive treatments or complicated routines. What you'll discover in the next few minutes is based on research from leading U.S. universities and clinical observations that European specialists have been documenting for years. I'm going to walk you through 5 specific foods and 5 simple scalp exercises that target the root cause of hair loss in women our age. But here's what matters most. Stick with me until the very end, because the final food I reveal is the one most women get completely wrong. Before we start, do me a favor, hit that like button. Drop a comment below telling me your age so we can build this community of women supporting each other, and let's get into this together. Let me start by saying something that might surprise you. The hair loss you're experiencing right now, the thinning at your crown, the wider part line, the handfuls of hair in your brush, it's not just about aging. U.S. doctors have been tracking a specific pattern of hair loss in American and European women over 60. And what they found is that a simple morning habit most of us do without thinking is actually making everything worse. But before I tell you what that habit is, you need to understand what's happening inside your scalp right now. Now, I'm going to start with food number 5, and I want you to pay close attention because each food builds on the previous one. These aren't random suggestions. They're based on nutritional research conducted at institutions like Stanford University and backed by observations from dermatologists across the United States who work specifically with women in our age group. Food number 5 is pumpkin seeds. I know it sounds almost too simple, but here's why this matters for your hair. Pumpkin seeds are loaded with zinc, and zinc deficiency is one of the most common nutritional issues American doctors see in women over 60 experiencing hair loss. Your body needs zinc to repair hair tissue and to keep the oil glands around your follicles working properly. When those oil glands don't function right, your scalp becomes dry, inflamed, and hostile to hair. Growth. Just a small handful of pumpkin seeds each morning, maybe sprinkled on your yogurt or oatmeal, provides enough zinc to support your follicles throughout the day. The magnesium in these seeds also helps reduce scalp inflammation, which is often overlooked but critical. You want your scalp environment to be calm and nourished, not inflamed and stressed. But as important as pumpkin seeds are, food number 4 is where things get really interesting, and it's something most women your age aren't eating nearly enough of. Food number 4 is wild-caught salmon. Now, I'm specifically saying wild-caught because the omega-3 fatty acid content is significantly higher than in farmed salmon, and omega-3s are essential for hair health. Research from the University of California has shown that omega-3 fatty acids help reduce follicle inflammation and support the hair growth cycle. Here's what happens. Your hair grows in cycles with a growth phase, a resting phase, and a shedding phase. As we age, that growth phase gets shorter and the shedding phase becomes more prominent. Omega-3s help extend that growth phase, giving your hair more time to grow before it falls out. Salmon also provides high-quality protein, and your hair is made almost entirely of protein. Without adequate protein intake, your body simply can't produce strong, healthy hair strands. Try to have salmon at least twice a week. If you're having it for breakfast, smoked salmon is perfect. The combination gives you protein, omega-3s, and other nutrients that work together. But even with salmon and pumpkin seeds in your diet, food number 3 addresses something completely different that's happening in your body right now. Food number 3 is green tea. And this is about powerful compounds called kcans that most American women aren't getting enough of. Green tea contains a specific cakin called EGCG that U.S. doctors have been studying intensively because of its effect on a hormone called DHT. DHT is the hormone responsible for shrinking hair follicles in women over 60, and it's the primary culprit behind pattern hair thinning that becomes so common after menopause. What makes green tea remarkable is that it helps block the conversion of testosterone to DHT, which means fewer follicles are being attacked and miniaturized. European researchers have documented that women who drink green tea regularly show lower levels of follicle damage compared to those who don't. But there's more to it than just DHT. Green tea is also packed with antioxidants that fight the oxidative stress happening in your scalp tissue right now. Oxidative stress damages the DNA inside your follicle cells, making them age faster and produce weaker hair. 1 to 2 cups of green tea each morning, and this is important. Brewed for at least 3 to 5 minutes to release those cocons gives your follicles protection they desperately need. You can drink it plain or add a touch of honey, but avoid adding milk because the proteins in milk can bind to the cocons and reduce their effectiveness. The caffeine in green tea also stimulates circulation to your scalp when consumed, which brings us to why food number 2 works through an entirely different mechanism. Food number 2 is cottage cheese, specifically for its casein protein content. Now, most women think all protein is the same, but quin is special because it's a slow digesting protein. When you eat cottage cheese in the morning, that casein breaks down gradually over several hours, providing a steady stream of amino acids to your hair follicles throughout the day. Your hair is made of a protein called keratin, and your body builds keratin from amino acids. Without a constant supply of these building blocks, your follicles can't produce strong, thick hair strands. Research teams at Harvard Medical School have studied protein, timing, and its effect on tissue repair, and they found that slow-release proteins like casein are particularly effective for structures that require constant maintenance like hair. But cottage cheese offers something else that's crucial for women over 60. It's rich in selenium. Selenium deficiency is more common than most people realize, especially in certain regions of the United States where soil selenium levels are low. Selenium protects your hair follicles from damage and supports your thyroid function, which directly affects hair growth. Many women your age have sluggish thyroid function, even if it hasn't been diagnosed, and that thyroid slowdown contributes significantly to hair thinning. A half cup of cottage cheese each morning gives you both the casein protein and the selenium your follicles need. You can mix it with berries, add it to a smoothie, or eat it plain with a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds for a double benefit. But as powerful as casein protein is, food number 1 contains a specific nutrient that most women are severely lacking, and it directly strengthens every single strand of hair on your head. Food number 1 is oats, and this is about silica and beta-glucans that work in ways most women never hear about from their doctors. Silica is a trace mineral that's absolutely essential for hair strength and thickness, but it's often overlooked in conversations about nutrition. Your hair needs silica to maintain its structure and prevent breakage. Without adequate silica, hair becomes brittle and snaps easily, making any thinning problem look even worse because you're losing hair to breakage on top of natural shedding. Studies at the University of Pennsylvania have shown that silica supplementation leads to measurably thicker hair strands in women experiencing age-related thinning. Oats are one of the richest natural sources of bioavailable silica, meaning your body can actually absorb and use it effectively, but the beta-glucans in oats are equally important. Beta-glucans are special fibers that help regulate your blood sugar levels, and stable blood sugar is critical for hair health. When your blood sugar spikes and crashes throughout the day, it creates inflammation and hormonal chaos that disrupts the hair growth cycle. Many American women over 60 struggle with blood sugar regulation, even if they haven't been diagnosed with diabetes or prediabetes. Those blood sugar fluctuations are quietly damaging your follicles every single day. A bowl of steel cut or old-fashioned oats each morning, not the instant kind because those are too processed and lack the same nutrient density, provides both the silica for hair strength and the beta-glucans for blood sugar stability. You can top your oats with pumpkin seeds, a handful of berries, or a dollop of cottage cheese to create a complete hair-nourishing breakfast. The Combination of all these foods working together creates an environment where your follicles can function at their absolute best given your age and hormonal status. But even with perfect nutrition, if you're not doing the scalp exercises I'm about to share, you're missing half the equation. Your scalp needs circulation. Blood flow delivers all those nutrients from the foods you're eating directly to your hair follicles. Without good circulation, those nutrients never reach the places they're needed most. That's where these 5 scalp exercises come in, and I want you to do them in order because each one prepares your scalp for the next. Scalp exercise number 5 is the basic scalp massage, and you're going to do this for just 30 seconds each morning. Place your fingertips on your scalp, not your nails, and apply firm pressure. Move your fingers in small circles, working from your forehead back toward your crown. The goal isn't to move your fingers across your scalp, but to move your scalp itself over the bone underneath. This stimulates blood flow and helps loosen any tension in the scalp tissue. Tension restricts blood vessels, and restricted blood vessels mean less oxygen and fewer nutrients reaching your follicles. American dermatologists often recommend this as a daily practice for women experiencing hair thinning. It's simple. It costs nothing, and it works. But scalp exercise number 4 takes this a step further and targets a specific area where women over 60 often experience the most dramatic thinning. Scalp exercise number 4 is the crown focus technique. Place both hands on top of your head with your fingers interlaced. Press down gently and move your scalp in small circular motions. First clockwise, then counterclockwise. Do this for 30 seconds. The crown of your head often has the poorest circulation because it's the furthest point from your heart, and gravity works against blood flow in that area. By specifically stimulating this region, you're encouraging more blood to reach those follicles. Clinical observations from doctors in both the US and Europe have noted that women who focus on crown stimulation often see improvement in that area, specifically within several months. This exercise also helps reduce scalp tightness, which is a common issue that many women don't even realize they have until they start doing these exercises regularly. But scalp exercise number 3 addresses the front hairline, which is where many women feel most self-conscious about thinning. Scalp exercise number 3 is the hairline lift. Place your fingertips along your hairline at your forehead, apply gentle upward pressure, lifting the skin slightly, and hold for 5 seconds. Release and move your fingers back about an inch. Repeat this process working backward toward your crown. This takes about 30 seconds total. What you're doing is releasing tension in the frontalis muscle, which is the muscle across your forehead. When this muscle is chronically tight, it restricts blood flow to your frontal hairline. And that's exactly where many women see their part widening and their hairline receding. Research teams at Columbia University have studied facial and scalp muscle tension in relation to hair loss, and they found that chronic tension creates an environment where follicles struggle to remain active. By releasing this tension daily, you're creating better conditions for hair growth along your entire hairline. Now, scalp exercise number 2 works differently because it stimulates the lymphatic system, which is something most people never think about in relation to hair health. Scalp exercise number 2 is the temple drainage technique. Place your fingers on your temples and make small circular motions, applying gentle pressure. Do this for 15 seconds on each side. Your lymphatic system is responsible for removing waste products and toxins from your tissues, and your scalp has lymph nodes that need to drain properly. When lymphatic drainage is sluggish, waste products build up around your hair follicles, creating inflammation and interfering with the hair growth cycle. This is particularly common in women over 60 because lymphatic function naturally slows with age. By stimulating the lymph nodes at your temples each morning, you're helping your body clear away cellular waste from your scalp tissue. U.S. doctors who specialize in integrative approaches to hair loss often recommend lymphatic drainage as part of a comprehensive hair health routine. But the final exercise, scalp exercise number 1, is the most powerful because it combines multiple benefits into a single 30-second movement. Scalp exercise number 1 is the full scalp percussion technique. Make loose fists with both hands and gently tap your entire scalp with your knuckles for 30 seconds, working from front to back and side to side. This percussion creates a vibration that travels deep into the scalp tissue, stimulating not just blood flow, but also the nerves that communicate with your hair follicles. There's emerging research suggesting that mechanical stimulation of the scalp can actually trigger cellular signaling pathways that promote hair growth. The tapping motion also helps break up any fibrotic tissue that may have formed around older follicles. Fibrosis is when tissue becomes stiff and scarred, and it's more common as we age. When fibrotic tissue surrounds a follicle, that follicle can't function properly. The gentle percussion helps keep the tissue soft and pliable. American dermatologists have observed that patients who combine scalp percussion with the other exercises often report the most noticeable improvements in hair thickness and reduced shedding. Now, here's what I need you to understand about timing. These 5 foods and 5 exercises work together, but they need time. Hair grows slowly. The average hair grows about half an inch per month, which means the improvements you make today won't be visible for at least 2 to 3 months. That's because you're not actually seeing the new hair growth immediately. You're seeing the effects of improved follicle health gradually appearing as your hair grows out. The shedding might slow down first, which is usually the first sign that things are working. Then you might notice your existing hair feeling thicker and stronger. Eventually, you'll start seeing new growth, particularly around your hairline and crown, but you have to be consistent. Doing these exercises once or twice won't change anything. This needs to become part of your daily morning routine, just like brushing your teeth. Let me also address something important about the 30-second morning habit I mentioned at the beginning that's actually making your hair loss worse. Many women over 60 brush their hair too aggressively